right, I'm going to call to order the Monday, August 25th, 2025 Royal Oak City Commission meeting to order. We're going to begin with an invocation given by Commissioner Macy, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I ask that you stand if you can, please.
If I've done the math correctly, this will be my last invocation of my 8 years as a city commissioner. So I had some urge to cram all my remaining thoughts into this one invocation, but I decided not to, and I'm just going to go with one big idea, a guiding light. In a minute, Commissioner Douglas will read a proclamation recognizing Constitution Week next month. Much has been written about the genius of the Constitution and also its many flaws. Flaws our nation has wrestled with since the passage of the Bill of Rights. But the beauty of the Constitution is captured most clearly in its preamble. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. I do want a government that strives for all those goals, but to reach them requires continued action, not from some distant or even local authority, but from us. We, the people, must act. That was the revolutionary proposition of our Constitution. And though our nation has faced moments when that vision was at risk over the years, again and again, various generations of the people have stepped forward to demand justice, to fight for liberty, and to never give up working on that more perfect union. The responsibility lies with each of us, and I will share the reminder of this that I keep hanging on my wall at home, an excerpt from the Talmud. Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Do justly now. Love mercy now. Walk humbly now. You are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it. With that, let's get to work.
Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We are rolling. All right, we have a proclamation tonight designating September 2025 Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. Is Ms. Zuccaro here? Oh, there she is.
Do I come up front?
Yes, come on up. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. This is starting to become a little bit of a, I don't want to say tradition, but something that, we've embraced as a city of Royal Oak. And we're grateful for all your efforts recognizing Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. Okay. Whereas Tie Michigan Teal is a statewide campaign designed to promote awareness of ovarian cancer and its symptoms. And whereas teal is the color representing ovarian cancer. And whereas ovarian cancer is one of the leading causes of cancer deaths among women, with the risk of 1 in 91 women will be diagnosed with ovarian cancer in her lifetime. And whereas in 2025, approximately 20,890 women will be diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and sadly, 12,730 will die. And whereas, unlike other cancers, there's no early detection test for ovarian cancer, and because symptoms, which are often subtle and mimic other diseases, awareness of symptoms is the key to early diagnosis. And whereas while these statistics do not sound promising, there is good news supporting the importance of education and awareness efforts, as incident rates have declined between 1% and 2% beginning in 1990, and the rate of ovarian cancer deaths has decreased 43% since 1976, with the most of the progress occurring since the mid-2000s. And whereas Tie Michigan Teal consists of volunteers tying ribbons on trees, signs and posts throughout cities, towns, and villages in Michigan, and providing local businesses and offices with symptom information cards. And whereas Tie Michigan Teal takes place the entire month of September, and the City of Royal Oak supports efforts to educate our residents and all members of the public about ovarian cancer and its symptoms. Now therefore be it resolved, I, Mayor Fournier, and the members of the Royal Oak City Commission, on behalf of the entire Royal Oak community, do hereby proclaim September 2025 as Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month in Royal Oak, and will join Tie Michigan Teal with communities across the state, and will have teal ribbons tied on trees, signs, and posts, and information cards distributed to local businesses and offices to raise awareness of ovarian cancer and its symptoms.
Thank you.
It's my honor to present you with this proclamation, and
Oh,
please.
thank you. Hi, I'm Danielle. I'm a volunteer with the Michigan Ovarian Cancer Alliance, also known as MIOCA. I just wanted to share some of what we do. We promote the early detection of ovarian cancer and improve treatment outcomes. MIOCA raises awareness of ovarian cancer, provides resources and support to survivors and their families, and advocates both locally and federally. We educate Michigan communities and fund innovative ovarian cancer research. As the mayor said, 1 in 91 people born with ovaries will develop ovarian cancer, and there is no early detection, so an annual Pap test does not detect for ovarian cancer. So really this awareness really goes really far in educating people on the symptoms so that they can detect it early. So as you had said, businesses can participate, the cities can participate, is obviously participating in Tie Michigan Teal, and businesses can also participate and put teal ribbons in their offices and in their stores, and display posters and send out symptom cards. So if you have more questions, you can reach out to mioca.org, and I appreciate your time today.
Danielle,
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
for all your Okay, you have it.
I'm up, yeah.
Okay. May I join you?
Oh, yes.
Is Ms. Abramson here? Come on up. This is a proclamation designating September 17th to 23rd, 2025 Constitution Week in Royal Oak. And I'm going to step out of the way because we have Commissioner Douglas here, who is best positioned as a daughter of the American Revolution to read this proclamation.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas September 17th, 2025 marks the 238th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention, and whereas the United States Constitution establishes the rule of law and the power as well as the limits of government while enabling us to choose those who will govern, and whereas it also implies the responsibility of its citizens to understand it and to support it, and thank you, Commissioner Macy, for your timely invocation, and whereas it is the oldest written instrument of democratic rule in the world still in use, inspiring many to come here and contribute to the nation that created it. And whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this seminal document and its memorable anniversary, and to the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate the occasion, and whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America, designating September 17th through 23rd as Constitution Week, now therefore be it resolved that Mayor Fournier and members of the Royal Oak City Commission, on behalf of the entire Royal Oak community, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week, and ask our citizens to reaffirm the ideals of the framers of the Constitution had in 1787 by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us through this guardian of our liberties, remembering that lost rights may never be regained. Ms. Abramson? Here is your proclamation.
Thank you, Mayor Fournier, and the City Commission members. Thank you so much. Good evening. My name is Virginia Abramson, and I am a resident of Royal Oak and region of the Ezra Parker chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. More than 1 million women have joined the DAR since its founding in 1890. Today, nearly 200,000 members advance our mission of education, historic preservation, and patriotism. Last year, members around the globe gave 7 million volunteer hours in service to our communities. The DAR has promoted Constitution Week since President Dwight Eisenhower signed it into law in 1956. We thank the City of Royal Oak for your support. Right now, there may be a woman watching this meeting who knows that her ancestors supported the cause for independence. We encourage her to visit dar.org to learn how she might join us. Thank you very much.
Hang on. Okay. Oh, photo? Here, why don't we get in front of the microphone?
I'll just add a personal note on Constitution Week. I'm looking forward to seeing all the students again this year at Northwood Elementary. Ms. Elke invites me out to field all the questions possible about the Constitution, so I have to brush up on my knowledge as well as answer questions about everything related to the City of Royal Oak, our charter. A lot of smart kids in our school system, so it's probably the most prepared I have to be for anything. All right. So this brings us to item C, 10 from the top. Mr. Gottschall.
Thank you, Mayor and Commission and viewing audience. This is the August 25th, 10 from the top.
We got to get some music for that, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I need a little Price is Right going on.
Get Rod Roddy to introduce you.
In this segment, I provide 10 slides in 10 minutes, no more than 10 minutes, with just some general updates for the good of the order or from staff. So we will begin from the top. Happy to report on the Senior Center progress. We did have a reopening today that will involve the reactivation of that space, welcoming our seniors and our staff back to the center. You will see, well, I think they're beautiful bathroom partitions and a wonderfully remodeled bathroom that's available to you today. You'll see a brand new welcoming area in the reception area. You'll see coffee nooks, new flooring in multiple spaces, some touch-ups on the paint as well throughout the community. Just a really good general improvement to the facility. So I really applaud our facilities team and our Parks and Rec team for really managing this project. This was a quick project with a quick turnaround, and I applaud everybody who was involved. So I've been doing this weekly since it started in June, or every other week since June, so it's kind of neat to watch the pictures from rip out to replacement. Star Dream Fountain 2, this one was featured in July, and I'm happy to say that DPS has confirmed it should be operational by the end of the week. They were out there fine-tuning it today. They do expect to finish the final base work. They'll be filling it with water, so you'll see them out there filling it with water early this week, as soon as Wednesday. And they're also programming the new light feature that is incorporated into the statue. We are still working on some skateboard guards that should be installed. There's a little bit delay on the supply chain there. But all in all, this fountain should be up and running, and fingers crossed. I asked, make sure we're confident it'll be up by this weekend, and they said, you can say it. So, eyes on you, Kevin. Also in DPS news, Tree City USA. This is connected to our agenda item today. It's on the consent agenda item, but I do want to take a moment to just call attention to the city's emphasis on tree programs. So I contacted Dave Reichel, our Parks and Forestry Supervisor. I just put this poll quote up there. And this really emphasizes kind of the department's philosophy. You know, we've tried to reach a point where we replace 2 trees for every tree that's removed. And he provided some data that kind of just emphasizes and shows that, bears that out a little bit. So you go back to the pandemic year, and of course that's kind of an anomaly, but you know, if you look at that, you start getting your 21 recovery year, and then we start to normalize. And you can see the last 3 years, they're really applying meaning there. So you can see Royal Oak's been a Tree City USA for 48 years. We're close to 50 in a couple of years. We'll make that 50-year anniversary. And we did include a address there. If you go to that address on the stage, that is how a resident, if you're interested in getting your name on a list to get a tree in the right-of-way in front of your house, that is where you would go. You'll see all kinds of information, including an application, a tree species list. And I was told that it is popular, and so if the list is longer than the trees, they do keep that standing list available. So we do plant in 2 seasons, so if you're unable to get featured in the fall, you're still on that list in the spring, and you'll stay on that list in that order. Arts, Beats, and Eats is a big weekend that would have to be on the 10 from the top. We have up to 310,000 attendees expected to come into our city this weekend, swelling our population. I think that would make us one of Michigan's largest populated cities this weekend. So that's a substantial note, and that actually, you know, I'd like to acknowledge all the efforts first by all of the department staff, the city department staff, who helped make this event successful and safe. Special shout out to our public safety departments and our public services departments who will be working 24/7 throughout the weekend. So really acknowledgement for staff there. But I want to acknowledge the local impact too. We're looking at 41 Michigan artists that are going to be featured, 64 local musicians, including, I did not know this, the Royal Oak School of Rock youth musicians will be participating throughout the event throughout the week, which is kind of a cool thing to be looking out for. Also 20 downtown specific vendors. The last bullet, something I wanted to just make a note of, the DDA has pledged $80,000 in value by issuing $20 Royal Oak digital gift cards that are going to be dispersed to attendees. Those are all applicable for any participating store that participates in downtown vendor or downtown dollar program. So that's a great note. All those are going to be issued upon entry through the use of a QR code. So credit to the DDA and our staff for making sure that that's going to be successfully implemented, encouraging interaction in our downtown businesses. Those are going to be valid through the end of September. Lincoln Place, this is on tonight's agenda. This is also just another opportunity to uplift a wonderful redevelopment project in our downtown. Two headlines here, 209 units. They would be coming downtown, being redeveloped from downtown brownfield space, really taking unproductive space and making it more productive, but also achieving a fundamental policy goal and need, frankly, and that's just for more affordable and attainable housing. So 25% of those were negotiated with the commission and the development group to deliver 52 workforce housing units. We touched on this a little bit in June. These projects always have a heck of a journey getting through incentives, and I know they're working through state incentives, part of which we'll talk about during tonight's agenda. But this is just an opportunity for me to elevate the real impact of this and the work we're trying to do with downtown affordability. And here, you know, altogether, this project along with another project is going to deliver 111 affordable and workforce housing units in the downtown pipeline. I know the commission and I share a goal of having Royal Oak be the most affordable and accessible community moving forward, and we're doing everything we can to communicate that to developers, that we're serious about that priority, and we're looking for developers who want to take that seriously with us. Royal Oak Library Community Survey. The library board is undertaking a new strategic plan. And part of that is leading off with looking for public input and public engagement. So there is a link here for folks. If you haven't gone to the library's media, look out for this survey. They're circulating it. They really want your feedback, and they want you to share this survey with anyone you think uses the library and has meaningful feedback to give on the community and the library's services. They'll also be conducting focus groups, and they're also scheduling interviews with community leaders. I had an interview today as part of the process that I was happy to take part in. Results are expected to be shared in December. We are doing a lot of work on culture here, and I just wanted to take a moment to recognize some of those things, because I think this is, we want to be an employer of choice and a workforce of choice. I do believe we are the top local government workforce in the county and in the area, and here's what we're doing to try to act to that intention. So we're focusing, what employee engagement, team building, mission statement, and cultural values, those are going to be the fundamentals that we're working on. In September, internally, we are going to implement our first Gallup Q12 survey, and that is the standard survey for many private and public organizations to measure employee engagement. So that's our opportunity to really measure the stickiness of the organization and to make sure that we're getting really good input back on how we can continue to drive progress with employees on engagement and performance. We're also going to be hosting Beyond the Smoke. This is the first Beyond the Smoke event in Michigan and local government. This is a team building exercise that's going to bring in Chef Harry Sue. He's a famous chef. He's going to work with our staff in a barbecue competition that ultimately results in team building. Those lessons get applied towards day 2 of the event, where we're going to be focusing on leadership development and team building development, working with TEDx speaker Nick Kittle, who's going to be talking to us about innovation and collaborative culture. So really excited about that. And we'll follow those up in October with our leadership retreat, where staff are going to form our very first mission statement and agreed upon set of cultural values. So we are really spending a lot of time emphasizing work culture, and these are the actions that we're putting behind those words, and I'm really excited about that. Finally, I want to introduce Megan Vega. She's not in the audience tonight, but she is our recreation coordinator, focusing on lead adult and youth recreation. She comes to us by way of the city of Troy, and before that, Michigan Medicine, really specializing in sports administration. So she's going to bring a lot of experience, which is going to really focus helping our customer service related to the Parks and Rec millage, focused on athletic and fitness programs, including our fall softball league. I say that's the next, probably the first thing she's going to tackle right out of the gate. Managing our community sports partnerships. So this is a dedicated person focused on those relationships and coordinating those. And those are robust contracts and robust relationships. The Royal Oak Football Club and the Royal Oak Sandlot League being institutions of the communities as partners. We're actually giving someone some dedication to those contracts. And focusing on field pavilion and rentals. So you look at that number at the top, 14,537 hours. That's how much time has been asked to use city facilities, including field rentals by all of our partner institutions, as well as by our general public who are renting pavilions and other city facilities. So this is an important position, and in order to get this, Royal Oak has 51 parks. It made sense for us to sacrifice a position, so the city manager's office sacrificed our assistant to the city manager role during the budget process and shifted that investment over to the Parks and Recreation Department. So it's a budget neutral decision, but it is a little bit of a realignment, towards delivering the needs of the community who adopted the Parks and Rec millage. So really excited about that service improvement, and welcome Megan. And I will just take the opportunity to invite our second recent Meg up. This one's Meg. Join me in welcoming Meg Kruba, the city's new Economic Development Director. I showed her a picture last meeting. She was unavailable, so the live version is much better. Meg, welcome.
Thank you. I am so excited to join the city here. I am a resident also of Royal Oak, so this is a community that I understand from multiple perspectives, and I'm so excited to join. I'm feeling really enthusiastic about the teamwork that we have going on over here and getting the opportunity to learn and really adapt a strategic vision for the commission and the residents and be representative for this great community. So thank you for having me, and I look forward to meeting with commissioners as we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Meg. And that does conclude 10 from the top. And I got it with a minute left.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Gaccio? Okay. All right. I think that was great. And welcome Meg and Megan. I think this will be a good addition. and impact our quality of life positively here in Royal Oak, and our economic quality of life as well. All right, that brings us to item 5 tonight, which is the approval of the agenda. Does anyone wish to make a motion to approve tonight's agenda? We have a motion by Commissioner Macy. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Colo. Discussion on the agenda. All right, with none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion passes. We've established an agenda. All right, that brings us to item 6, public comment. Just a few ground rules before we commence. The City Commission values and relies upon the input of our fellow citizens to help make decisions. Now is the time set aside for the public to address the City Commission on any city-related issue, both on the agenda or not. I ask that comments be directed to the Commission as a whole and not to individual commissioners. The city has made it easier for you to request follow-up on an issue or leave public comment by simply scanning the QR code you see displayed. Please make sure to double-check your information for accuracy, as staff may utilize it for post-meeting responses. In addition to public comment, there will be one public hearing at tonight's meeting. The public hearing is regarding Lincoln Place at 200 East Lincoln, request for rehabilitation exemption certificate. If you wish to speak tonight at public comment or regarding the public hearing, please wait until recognized by me, then come up to the podium. For the record, you'll state your name and address. Please be mindful, the city wishes to hear from anyone who wants to speak tonight, so comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker, not per topic. And we have a convenient timer at the podium to help you keep track of your time. Please note, we typically don't respond directly to questions during public comment. However, we are writing them down, and when the agenda topic comes up, we will ask those questions on your behalf. If your question is something that is unrelated to anything on tonight's agenda, please make sure we have a way to get back with you, either the QR code, if you're QR codes tech savvy anymore, are those pretty standard now? I don't know, I'm using them, so they might be getting close to standard. Or we have our community engagement specialist, the one, the only, the wonderful Miss Judy Davids, sitting next to that other guy that's dressed up real nice with the brass. She can help take your information and get back to you. We do take your questions, unless they're rhetorical questions, and let us know, like that's a rhetorical question. And then of course, you don't have to leave your contact information. All right, with that, who's first tonight? Going once? Oh, we have a tie.
Ladies first. I'm slower than you, Thank you. Nancy Poprovsky. Most kids are back to school. It brings back memories, new clothes, new friends, new teacher. Back in the 50s and 60s, the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, was posted in our classroom. My granddaughter got a notice from her school stating its social studies civic engagement plan is to help make the community better through the practice of good citizenship. Key topics such as rights, responsibilities, fairness, rules, and laws, along with ethics, sounds like an extension to the simple golden rule, but only simple if you follow it daily. Unfortunately, our world and country are breaking the golden rule every second. So how will our precious children stay on course if adults don't practice what we preach? For those who want our children to be good citizens, we must fight to lead by example. This may take sacrifice. We may need to cut back on frivolous spending, do without, so we can spend more quality time with our children. We may need to rethink our values and ethics in our community and in business. This way, our children will see what's best for everyone and not make selfish choices for monetary or political gain. Telling the truth and admitting our mistakes to our children from the beginning gives them solid ground morals and ethics. Waiting to admit our mistakes or twisting something we did that was obviously wrong benefits no child. It just leads them to believe they can get away with something if they are cunning or even silent while they are breaking the rules. Today you declared a Constitution Week. Good timing for our city and county about rules and ethics. Being reminded that having equality and trust needs repeating often if our children are to grow up honest, compassionate with love and understanding, and not hatefully closed-minded. Back to the days of the Golden Rule. We also had the 3 R's: reading, writing, arithmetic. Yes, you need spell check on that one, but it was easy to remember. Perhaps the 3 R's should be replaced by the acronym HELP, H-E-L-P. Honesty, ethics, and love provide our children with the tools they need to become good citizens who perhaps will grow up not making excuses for what they do wrong, but admitting their mistakes, showing character, ethics, and love for their fellow citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Probotsky. Mr. Harrison?
Thank you, Mayor. Bill Harrison, Woodward Side Subdivision, Royal Oak. Just some comments regarding what I call the new hires. Economic Development Director. I'm concerned that she is a job hopper with only 1 year experience in each of several positions. When I would review resumes, I would often see somebody that stayed 3 years at a time, boom, 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 one after the other. I didn't want somebody that was going to stay 3 years. DDA Executive Director, it's a new position. Conduct downtown retail study to assess vacancy rates. Develop a targeted business recruitment and retention plan. Collaborate with new economic developer director. What about the responsibility for maintaining the DDA budget? That was one of the major contributions that Tim Twing made. I understand that a person from, excuse me, Princeton, New Jersey has been hired. When does he start? Deputy DDA Director / Downtown Manager. Business engagement program with focus on retention and recruitment, customer relationship management system. I assume that these are business customers we're talking about here. Support economic development strategies and community engagement and DDA sponsored events responsibilities will be by a future communications and marketing position or outside service. I was on the DDA for 11 years, and our experience with outside service ranged from horrendous to tremendous. And I can say tremendous only one time. There appears to be some redundancies with these 3 positions. Let's let the Economic Development Director focus on Woodward Avenue, which sorely needs some tender, loving care, and let the DDA Executive Director and Deputy focus on the downtown. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harrison. All right, anybody else wish to speak? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My name is Ray Colby. I'm at 4217 North Fulton Place, north of Normandy. I just want to thank the City of Royal Oak and the Public Safety Department last weekend on the Dream Cruise. It was very, very well patrolled, and they did an outstanding job, specifically between the 12-mile and 14-mile corridor. Us in that Beverly Hills Royal Oak neighborhood, on that Sunday evening last Sunday, it kind of got out of control with some of the racing and the drag racing on Woodward. I just wanted to make you aware, this is a great event. I've lived in the city for 26, 27 years, had parties myself. Excellent event, but it did draw out a bunch of neighbors, and some of them weren't able to show up. But there was a concern of safety, and we made some calls to the police department and so forth. I don't want to damper anything. Maybe there's some ideas or something that someone would have, but it was significant on a Sunday evening, because I don't know about the police presence, but I admire the police department. They've got a hard job. They do a great job. I respect them. We just want to make you aware of anything that comes up or anybody else says anything. It's out there. There's neighbors in that area that we're very aware. All the years that have taken place, that specific night was pretty strong vehicles. So just wanted to let you know. That's all. Thank you so much.
Mr. Colby. Appreciate
Thank you.
that feedback. Thank you. All right, anybody else wish to speak tonight at public comment? Gentleman in the plaid shirt in the back. Mr. Witz.
Thank you, Mayor and Commission. Just want to make a couple notes related to Arts, Beats, and Eats coming up this weekend. The first one I wanted to share is some joyous news. We were just today ranked the 24th best fine art show in the United States by Sunshine Artist Magazine. So we are nationally on the map. Very excited to share that. And wanted to give some thank yous and then kind of share a couple things you might not know about and you won't want to miss this weekend. First, like the previous commenter, I want to recognize Chief Moore just for the incredible planning that has gone into the event this weekend with great temperatures, expecting great crowds, and the work and the law enforcement agencies that have been put together and communicated with. We would not have the safety record or the ability to deliver an event like this without his work. Same with on the fire department side with Jim Cook and his team. On DPS with Kevin Yee, I want to thank City Manager Gaucho, whose communication has been incredible, as well as Assistant City Manager Susan Barkman, who's been also managing DDA affairs and helping to ensure that local businesses are getting business and integrating, and it's just been a great team effort. Of course, Judy Davids as well on getting the word out. So just appreciate the city's staff and support. It has been wonderful. A couple things that you might not know about. I have a minute 33. There is a tent stage that is free to attend at 526 for the first time ever. Dueling pianos will be going on all weekend. Excited about that. There is a mural that kids can get together and paint that's going to be an art installation around Michigan at different Kroger stores, 2 20-foot long canvases on Saturday and Sunday. There are autism family days on Saturday and Sunday for children and young adults with autism to bring their families for free admission, free parking thanks to the city, free lunch, and free rides at the carnival. Same for Make-A-Wish. Kids with life-threatening illnesses are being treated to the event on Monday. I want to recognize that Oakland County has chosen Arts, Beats, and Eats as a place to launch their Be a Hero, Support a Hero Veterans Advocacy campaign, and we'll be doing a concert with our Epic Eagles on Sunday night to host 125 veterans and guests for dinner, the concert VIP sitting, parking, and admission. We're excited about that. We bring together so many people, and the city gives us such a privilege of the city to do this, and we want to continue to integrate with the community. In the 10 before 10, we saw $100,000 plus annually to local Royal Oak nonprofits, and we will continue to work with numerous organizations across the region. There are $8 tickets through tomorrow. It is free on Friday before 5, and there's $10 parking at Royal Oak High School for those that are looking for value. We appreciate this. We welcome everybody in Royal Oak to join us, and thank you to everybody on the Royal Oak team.
Thank you, Mr. Witz. All right, anybody else wish to speak tonight at public comment? Going once, going twice. All right, we're going to close public comment and bring the meeting back to this side of the table. Before we get to the consent agenda, I just want to underscore our public safety departments, the PD and FD, work extremely hard from Woodward Dream Cruise through Arts, Beats, and Eats, literally keeping hundreds of thousands of people safe. They don't get to go and enjoy Labor Day weekend. They don't get to enjoy the cruise. They're out there taking care of issues that naturally come with hundreds of thousands of people that come to our community, which is a good thing. People see Royal Oak in a good light. They have a lot of fun. There's a huge economic windfall with a lot of these events, but it does come at the personal sacrifice of our police officers and firefighters working overtime and spending quality time away from their families so we can enjoy time with our families. So much thanks to them and all their hard work last week and coming up this weekend. The consent agenda. Does anyone wish to pull anything off tonight's consent agenda? Commissioner Colo. C?
Yes, please.
Award contract for tree. Okay. Let's see. Anybody else? Okay, does anyone wish to move the consent agenda with the exception of C? Commissioner Colo, is there a second? Commissioner Herzog, discussion? Commissioner Douglas.
Yes, just briefly, I just want to thank our Community Development Department for items E and F on this agenda. These are small changes to development agreements, giving property owners a little bit of flexibility and bringing a couple new small businesses to our city. I think this is the kind of climate that we want to foster in terms of economic development, and I think these are both very suitable items. That's all.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, item C. Mr. Colo, or Commissioner Colo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I see our DPS director, Mr. Yee here, and I thought we could talk, just give some background on the tree planting program, where we are this year. I know Mr. Gaucho covered it in his 10 from the 10, but it'd be great to have a little bit reminder of what's going on and how people can sign up.
Okay, great, thank you. So as Mr. Gaucho pointed out, we do have a sign up on the website under the DPS page where residents can sign up to get a tree. Last time I checked, we had over 150 residents had signed up for a tree. It's always best to put a tree where people want them. A lot of times people don't want them, and someone who wants the tree is going to take better care of it, water it, and actually enjoy it. So we look to have people sign up. We encourage people to sign up, and as was stated as well, we sometimes get more people sign up than we have trees. So we will have a fall tree planting. Hopefully we have 300 people sign up for that because that's what we plan on planting in the fall, and then we can move on to the spring planting with another 300 trees. So that's the plan right now. Also in this bid, or this award, is 50 larger trees that we wanted to plant in parks. We wanted to specifically target areas where there's benches and play structures and things like that to provide a little quicker shade. Probably will be many years before there's true shade in over a play structure, but we wanted to provide some shade for both the children and parents that are enjoying the playgrounds and play structures. Is there any other information that you wanted?
No, that's great. I think this underscores our commitment to continuing to reinvest in the city, to continue to plant trees. We saw the table, we take trees out, but we continue to add them over and over again. That's led to the Tree City USA designation, like Joe said, almost 50 years in a row. So it's a great program, and thank you for continuing to move this forward.
Correct. Thank you.
Commissioner Macy?
Yeah, I just wondered, is there like a waiting period? Because, so I got a street tree last year, and then also a couple years ago because they took a tree down and they replaced that one. So I've had two recently, but I live on a corner and my long side only has the one tree that I got last year. So is there a prioritization? Like, I don't want to stop someone I don't want to get in the way of someone who's hasn't had a tree yet, but I want more.
Correct. It is a first come first served program, and right now we have about half of the trees that we're going to plant this fall accounted for. So I would encourage you to call because we want to plant them where people want them, and I would encourage you to call and get a tree planted there, or I can write that down that you would like another one. But yeah, we've definitely encouraged people to call, no matter if you have one or not, or we'll judge. We'll have our arborist judge if some are too close together, or what species might fit with other species, and plant the trees appropriately where they belong. But yeah, we want to encourage everyone to call that wants a tree.
Okay. Any other questions? I'll just say, in the presentation, a lot of times we see that data of trees coming down. I just know, like Dave Reichel in particular, arborist, just great all-around person, does his job very well, very seriously. And, we have thousands of trees in the city, and sometimes they have to come down because they're rotted from the inside out. They pose a danger to property or person, and we don't like to take them down, but sometimes they have to come down. The best example one day on Lincoln, I don't know if you put a picture of it out there, but it's near my neighborhood, a beautiful old silver maple, and the thing was hollow on the inside. It was a critter condo. Thing in a storm just came down, and thank goodness nobody was there, but it really, unfortunately, trees, certain species especially, have a lifespan. So it's good to be on top of it, keeping people safe. But, I like the efforts that we're doubling up for everyone we have to take down, we're doubling up.
Correct. And we don't want to ever take down a healthy tree. So our goal is never to take down a healthy tree. We definitely are very scrutinous when someone does request a tree to come down and what is appropriate to come down.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Yee. All right, Mr. Colo, or Commissioner Colo.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mike. This is some of the best funds we spent all year, so I move approval.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Colo, seconded by Commissioner Herzog. All right, any discussion? All right, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, that leaves us with a unanimous vote. I went out on a limb there. Wasn't the best joke. All right.
Oh.
Tough audience
got it.
tonight. God, it's like I got you stumped. Jeez. Man, oh man. All right. Up next is a public hearing on Lincoln Place Commercial Rehabilitation Exemption Certificate. I see Mr. Hedges here. Mr. Hedges, the floor is yours.
Thank you. As mentioned earlier tonight, this is the final step in the approval process for the Lincoln Place development. Earlier this year, you reviewed both the brownfield plan and also an application to establish a commercial rehabilitation district for this property and this development. The final step is before you this evening. It is an application for a commercial rehabilitation exemption certificate. The application form is attached to your agenda packet. As far as the details of the application, I will defer to the petitioners. They are here in the audience this evening and know much more about the details of the exemption certificate and why it's necessary than I could explain. So I will turn the floor over to them.
Thank you, Doug. Good evening again. Joe Augustinelli, Michigan Growth Advisors. We're the consultants working on this project. Pleasure to be back here again in front of you. I promise I won't be sharing spreadsheets this evening. So you've seen this project before a few times. As Doug aptly explained, this is sort of the last step in the local process with the incentive package. As a reminder, the commercial rehabilitation exemption certificate helps the project by helping manage the real estate tax expense, which allows us to support enough debt in order for the project to be able to be financially viable. With your support this evening, if you are to support the project, this is sort of the last step, and the local process, and then the final. Just as an update, last piece of the puzzle is getting the state's approval of, unrelated to this, the school tax capture on the brownfield plan, and that request was submitted actually this morning to the state. So excited to move forward. Development team's here to happy to answer any questions, either about the project or about the tax abatement certificate itself.
Sure. Questions for the petitioner? Well, thank you. I think we understand it really, really well and understand that this is a necessary step to have.
Thank you.
Thank you. And any questions for Mr. Hedges? I forgot to ask any questions for Mr. Hedges. Okay. All right. So we know what's in front of us. I'm going to open up a public hearing. Same rules apply as public comment. Does anyone wish to speak tonight at the public hearing? Ms. Profosky.
Is anything about Lincoln Place?
You can speak anything that's germane to Lincoln Place. We have a lot of latitude. You can talk about your grocery list if you want, but we'd prefer if it was on Lincoln Place.
Okay. Nancy Poprowski. Lincoln Place, did you leave or are you going to leave any mature trees? You might plant new ones, but they can take 30 years to mature. Not a good trade-off during the climate crisis. And I just heard a few people talk about they don't take down healthy trees, just the unsafe ones. Unfortunately, over the years I've witnessed countless healthy mature trees, even forests, disappear. So I would ask the commission, and I ask you this all the time, and you are helping me in a few cases. So I would love you to make an ordinance that builders need to work harder at saving mature trees. Just saw one go down in my neighborhood that didn't need to go. It was on the perimeter of the property. It was healthy. And it was a shock when I came home. And I said, you know, they took all the ones down in the middle of the property. And I went, okay, they got to put something there. But then when I saw the one that was healthy, and they just took it down, and along Lincoln, they did the same along a little strip of stores that were also healthy. Maybe one was not, but they just came down, no warning, no anything. And even the people that were the owners of these businesses were shocked. I went and talked to them. They went like, here today, gone tomorrow. So I think we need to work harder with our builders and developers, letting them know how important a mature tree is. And we talk about safety, you know, about one coming down and being dangerous. Believe me, I've seen branches hanging at Lawson Park that I've gone like, they better get that down before a wind comes and it hits a child. But we also need to think about the safety for the planet by keeping the mature trees any chance we get. So I would like to propose to you to make an ordinance, work with the builders and developers as much as you can, maybe even incentives. Even though I don't think they need more money necessarily, but the incentive is, again, for our children, the planet. One tree of shade can make so much difference. So please work on that ordinance. I think it would be easier if we had the ordinance and they automatically just had to be worked with. And maybe, I know we have things where they have to pay off or they have to do something, but I think if it's from the get-go that you check them out, watchdog them and say, we saw that tree and it's gone, and I believe this is what happened at Lincoln Place. I'd like them to tell me if this happened already. If not, thank you if you saved any, but I don't think you did. So thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Brodsky. Anybody else wish to speak at tonight's public hearing? Going once, going twice. All right, we're going to close the public hearing. Bring the meeting back to this side of the table. And I'll look to my colleagues, both to my left and to my right. Commissioner Douglas.
Yes, I'll move approval of the exemption.
A motion by Commissioner Douglas, a second. Who had it first? Commissioner Hunt? I couldn't tell. Commissioner Macy was, oh, she's folding a paper. So second by Commissioner Hunt. Discussion? Commissioner Douglas.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. There's wide consensus, I think, in our community on the value of providing housing, rental housing at lower than market rates, be it low-income housing or workforce housing. That said, we may all agree on that, but we cannot compel developers to provide this housing. And in fact, the evidence, in fact, well demonstrated by this application is that the profit margins in rental housing are pretty slim. And there is no real incentive for developers to provide non-market rate housing. We as a community incentivize that. And the state of Michigan has in the past couple of years offered us several new tools that communities can use. One of them we saw earlier where now brownfield classification also can apply to the portion of the units in this building, in this case, that are below market rate. And now we're seeing this other new tool, the commercial rehabilitation exemption, which is also a tax incentive to incentivize this developer to, in fact, bring us 25 units of workforce housing. And so we as a commission, we have to make those choices because we are sacrificing some tax income down the road, but in fact that was a taxable, that was a property sitting there not generating much tax at all, and now we bring to our community not only some workforce housing, but also market rate housing in an area where people will find it very easy to dine and to shop in our downtown and really be part of our economic development engine here in the city. And so I'm pleased to support this motion.
Excellent point. I'll just add to that, and I think Commissioner Douglas might have brought this up at the Planning Commission. This project also exemplifies how within one beautiful building you have, you know, market rate and workforce housing. It's been suggested to this commission, the Planning Commission, that we should put affordable housing way out by the cemetery or out by the railroad tracks in an industrial area, and let people that work very hard every day in this community live out there. And I think this is a perfect example of how to do it right. It is a blueprint, not just for Royal Oak, but for other communities to say, hey, look, there is a solution out there. You can achieve a number of things, and you can do it with pride and dignity, and everybody wins. And so this project, we have local developers here that are vested and from and helped build Royal Oak over the years, finding a way to do something to meet the needs of our city, our strategic plan. And we say workforce housing, and I confirmed with Mr. Gaccio, being retired is a job. So this housing is also for people on fixed incomes that may want to downsize, live close to town, and have the ability to do it on their pension or Social Security. So we check a lot of boxes here, and I look forward to seeing more projects like this. You guys certainly set the bar. You proved the case. The Excel spreadsheets, although I know everyone, some people are, eyes glazed over. There's a few of us that were like, all right, this is great. This proves the point of exactly what we're trying to do here. So great project. Can't wait for you guys to break ground in an official way and get this thing up. So nice work.
So you've seen they started demo
Yeah.
already?
Yeah, I saw. Commissioner Colo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I wholeheartedly agree with both what Commissioner Douglas and yourself said. I think it's important that people who might be watching this or catching this at home know that this is just a final step. We've debated this already in the past. We've had long discussions about this. We've had negotiations with the development team that led to this final step. So this is just a last step in the process, but all of the work has been done months and months before tonight. So tonight is just a final step to get to the next shovel in the dirt, shovel in the ground.
Correct. Anybody else? All right. We have motion on the table. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. All right. We're at Commissioner Herzog's favorite part of the meeting. That's a joke. She loves to do the work on behalf of the city of Royal Oak, but one time she raised her hand a little too excited, and it took me off guard, and so I tease her about it. She's a very committed public servant, but notwithstanding anything else for the benefit of the community we love, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh, Commissioner Cheatham. Oh, might take that title.
Well, I came in a few minutes late to the meeting this evening, and I just wanted to explain why, because I took the time to meet with the PTA Council, which meets at 7 o'clock on the same night that we meet, and I knew I was cutting it close. But I also just want to give a shout out to the parents that I met, the folks that are really committed. I feel like this community is just so fortunate to have so many parents and other people whose kids aren't even in schools anymore. They just keep coming to these meetings and supporting the PTAs. So I was really inspired to be there, but that was why I came late. I was sharing with them information about the safe routes to school and talking about how each school, all the families of each schools can be involved in that. So I apologize for coming late. That's not how I like to roll, but I just wanted to explain to the public and to the commission my commitments here, but I just wanted to take that time to share that information with the PTA Council. So, thanks.
Great. Thank you for sharing that, Commissioner Cheatham, and great work. Sometimes it's tough to balance a couple different things, but you pulled it off. Anybody else? Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn? Commissioner Herzog.
A motion to adjourn, please.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Herzog. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Hunt. All right. Any discussion? All right, with none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. Adjourned.
Wunderbar.